Capitol Police.
That was second warning.
So activists are getting warned that they will be arrested if they do not leave the rotunda. Once again, we are in the Cannon House office building, the House of Representatives on Capitol Hill. Activists wearing shirts that say, "Congress, do your job," are calling on Congress to move forth with the articles of impeachment.
I'll be ready for the balcony. Right here. Right here. Sit. Right here. Right.
If you are.
Let's get up there.
Are you okay on the stairs? Are you okay upstairs?
What's that? No, we could. The elevator's there, otherwise, this is fine.
Okay. Thanks so much again for coming.
Don't be silly. Thanks for having us.
Let me know when you.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yes, but
So, Anthony, do you want to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Anthony Torres. I'm a member of By the People. We're a grassroots movement of Americans from all walks of life from across the country fighting to impeach Donald Trump. And we're here today taking action. As you can see, we are here with dozens of our friends and neighbors. We have some of our folks being right now who are being arrested just because they are here defending the Constitution, something that our Congress has so far been unwilling to do. And we know that if our Congress does not do what needs to be done, defined by our Constitution and the rules of our democracy, and impeach a dangerous man in office, then we're setting a precedent for the normalization of abuses of power and high crimes against the country. But we also know that when the people lead, politicians follow. And so we are here to spark and represent the millions of Americans who already support impeachment. And if you're watching this live stream right now, you can go to www.impeachmentguide.com. Again, impeachmentguide.com. And you can sign up not only for our mass call we will be organizing on Thursday, but you can also download our guide for what it's going to take. It's going to take people like us taking action over and over again, showing up not just in the halls of power, but in every neighborhood across America in the days and weeks ahead to actually do what it needs to do, what it's going to take to force Congress to do what needs to be done.
Thank you so much, Anthony. And I think, you sort of answered some of my questions, which is what I asked one of your comrades earlier, why a lot of people are just saying, oh, well, the election is so close. Why not just wait for the election? But the reality is, as you just said, this isn't about political differences. This is about abuses of power and a degradation of our democratic institutions. Why do you think some people aren't getting that?
Yeah, I think what we've often conflate that bad presidents we get rid of through elections. Dangerous leaders we get through by other means. And in the Constitution, that's outlined as impeachment. And so we need our elected officials to put country over party and actually do what needs to be done both for our democracy that is now crumbling around us before it's too late, and so that we can actually hold Trump accountable as he continues to impose more abuses of power and high crimes against the country. Obstructing justice, separating families. These are all high crimes against the country and impeachable offenses. What we need is for the Congress to pursue and support the resolution outlined by Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, which is a resolution to launch an impeachment inquiry. And we've already, the people have already been demanding this, and we are here today taking over Congress because it's going to take all of us demanding and escalating our action to really demonstrate to Congress that if they want our support, every single member, they need to do what needs to be done and support impeachment. And so again, for folks who want to get more involved, we need them, we need all of us, we need all of you to sign up at impeachmentguide.com. That is where you can sign up for our mass call, to download our toolkit, what's it going to take, how to take impeachment action in your neighborhood and in every community across the country, and other ways to support this movement. It's going to take us hitting the streets. We need to be in the streets. History is our guide, both in this country and across the world, how we get rid of dangerous leaders in office and how we are able to shift the political tide is by actually showing up and showing our neighbors that we're willing to take responsibility for the future of our country.
Well, and Anthony, I can't help but notice that a lot of the brave people we have here today are incredibly young. You're incredibly young. What would you say to studies that find that Gen Z and millennial voters are more engaged, more activist-oriented, more left-leaning? I mean, do you find that to be true in your work?
I find that we're really living in a movement renaissance right now, and we are, by the people, is full of young people, people of color, Americans from all walks of life who are taking leadership. And in this moment, we are seeing that it's already been far too long in 2 years, especially me as a young person. 2 years I've seen Congress do nothing and do very little to hold this president accountable. All we're hearing is folks wagging a finger or saying that they will, stating that they'll hold him accountable, but actually not doing what it takes and what is actually in their job, which is holding impeachment proceedings against a president who is a threat to our democracy.
Well, and thank you for bringing that up, because you are right. Like, this has been an escalation. There's been so much talk about the Mueller report in Russia, But we had enough information
Yeah.
at the beginning of this process, and it seems like there's always something else people want to wait for. Why do you think that is?
I think it's what we've been hearing from a lot of our elected leaders, that we need to wait, we need to wait, we need to wait. And actually, some of these folks want to wait it out until the elections and put up the risk that betting that we may have fair elections or not, and allowing all these abuses of power and all of the American people to be at risk. Every single day Trump is in office is a risk and danger to millions of Americans. And so what we need right now is not to wait and see. We actually need political courage. And that's what we, the people, are displaying. As you can see out across the balcony, Americans are taking responsibility for the future of our country, and it's time Congress join our leadership.
Well, let's hope, and if not, it'll be really exciting to see people like you running for office and being a part of that process directly. So is there anything else you want people to know before we close out?
Again, you can be involved with By the People and this movement for impeachment. It's going to take all of you, all of us, fighting for a democracy that works for everybody, and to actually change this country forever, which is impeaching this president and holding our leaders accountable. And you can get involved by going to impeachmentguide.com. It should be in the link of the live stream and should be in our materials. You can sign up to join our mass call on Thursday via that link, download our guide for what it's going to take to impeach Trump, and then find out how to support this movement and to take public action over and over and consistently in your community, because that's what it's going to take.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm sure any number of our viewers will be getting involved. It looks like that all the people who are willing to be peacefully arrested have been. Once again, we're in the Cannon House office building on Capitol Hill, where a lot of these members work and live out their day. They will be watching and listening, and hopefully they will have the courage to take action. Thank you so much for being with us. Yeah, I'm going to ask because I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Hi, so do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what's going on here today?
Yeah, hi, my name's Alexandra Flores Quilty. Today, myself and Americans from all over the country are gathering here in D.C. to take action and demand that Congress begin impeachment proceedings immediately, that we think that now is the time and that we've waited far too long. Now is the time to impeach. And so we are part of the millions of Americans that support impeachment, and we're taking action today to tell Congress and the rest of the country that now is the time to impeach.
So, and to be clear, we're here in the Cannon House office building on Capitol Hill, where a number of members work and create this policy. So, are there any specific members that you in particular are trying to get the attention of?
Yeah, I mean, today, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib has been a champion on impeachment and announced with us a resolution to begin impeachment proceedings. She's been joined by a number of members of the House. We're calling on all members of the House to join her in either co-sponsoring or supporting the resolution. And in particular, we're calling on the members of Congress who've previously voted yes on articles of impeachment, that the resolution to begin impeachment proceedings is the pathway forward. And so we need those folks to come together right now to join us in removing this administration from office.
So what would you say to those who are making the argument that, oh, we should just wait for the election? This isn't that big of a deal. Let's just let it ride out. What would you say to those people?
This isn't actually about Trump and just voting him out of office. This is about our democracy. We have a constitution. We have rules that millions of other people are held accountable to. And if one man is not held accountable to those things, what does that say about our country? What does that say about our democracy? You vote people out of office because you don't like them. When someone breaks the rules and violates the Constitution, lies to the American people, the only form of recourse is really actually spelled out in the Constitution. impeachment. We must impeach because the Constitution demands it. We still have another 2 years left of this presidency. How much more damage and violence will he commit onto this country, to the American people, and really to our democratic institutions? We can't wait for 2 years, and quite frankly, elections is not the remedy for something of this magnitude.
Well, and many people make the
Jocelyn,
legal argument
hi. What
that
would you
this
like
is
our
less
viewers
about
to
the
know
Trump
about
admin- why you all are here today?
Every day that Donald Trump is in office, peoples will be in harm's way. We cannot wait until the elections to remove Donald Trump from office. And impeachment is not a process to take place in the court. Impeachment is a tool for the people, and it is up to us to determine what that process is going to look like, not the court and not Congress. We have seen historically that the people have the power to make monumental changes and to move mountains. I urge everyone to recognize that the power that they have as people in this country to understand what are your values, understand what are the values of this country, and realize that Donald Trump does not represent that. He disrespects that. He disrespects the basic human rights of people. And the only way that impeachment will be possible, and that it definitely is if everyday people push for it. You have the power to do it. We are doing it today. These are everyday people. I showed up 2 months ago and I got arrested. I showed up last week and delivered 10 million petition signatures demanding for the impeachment of Donald Trump. People are ready. The time is now.
Well, and I think that it's really important for you guys to be here because I've seen a lot of buzz that there are certain Democrats who worry that pushing forward with impeachment proceedings will make them seem less electable and make them seem like the dramatic ones. So I think it's really important for people to be here showing their legislators, no, this is what we want. Would you agree with that?
Totally. At the end of the day, any elected official, whether you are in Congress or at city council or in the state, you are a public servant. The public wants impeachment, and impeachment is the best thing for the public. Again, the only way that this will be attainable is if we all push for it. And, this isn't about politics. It's much larger than Donald Trump. This is about what kind of message are we sending to future administrations, and what kind of message are we sending to future generations if we do not hold Donald Trump accountable for these violations. Every single day he's in office, people are hurting. If we really are about basic human rights, then we need to remove Donald Trump from office. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican, it doesn't even matter if you follow politics. This is what needs to happen.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn. Is there anything else you feel like people should know? I know that they can access the impeachment guide. Is there any other advice about how to demonstrate? Did you guys enjoy your time here today? Do you feel good about it? Good? Okay.
I think we showed up and we delivered. The only way that this is going to be possible is if we sustain it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you follow politics. You have the power to make this possible. Engage and get involved in any way that works for you. Whether that means you're making a phone call a day, whether that means you can only donate $2, whether that means you talk to a few friends about impeachment, all of that is important, and all of these are steps to ensuring that our democracy and that the future of not only this country, but essentially the whole world, because that is at stake here as well, is protected.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn. And thanks to all of you for being here and doing what you're doing. Once again, everyone at home, you can go online and get involved. And if you're just tuning in now, clearly these are people who have taken time from their lives to demonstrate for impeachment, something that is actually a bipartisan issue and has very little to do with politics, as you repeatedly said. Thanks so much for being with us. And once again, Anthony, do you want to say the website?
So if you want to join us, it's going to take all of you taking action and bringing this movement to every neighborhood in America. You can join this movement by going to impeachmentguide.com. Sign up for our mass call we will be having on Thursday, and then we all have to get in the streets. That means in the halls of power like we did today, and also means in your own community. And that means showing up again and again in these days and weeks ahead. History shows us that when movements of people come together, we can shift the tide of both public opinion and the decision makers who have the power to launch impeachment now. And so it's time to impeach. Congress should follow our leadership.
Thank you so much. And thanks again for being with us, you guys. We hope you've enjoyed this. Brad?